question about how much does it cost to run a hot tub is a really important one, and it's one we often get asked at BISHTA. Here's some tips that might help a little bit. So although it's very difficult to give a specific answer, here's a couple of thoughts. First of all, it depends on whether it's an electric spa or whether it's a spa run by something like wood burner or biomass, etc. So assume for a minute it's an electric spa. The next question is it using energy that you generated yourself from some kind of home system, PVs, a solar, biomass, etc. That will therefore have a capital outlay to start with, but very little expense after that. Payback periods will be quite good, especially at the moment with energy prices being high. But let's move on. So assume that it's an electric spa and you are not generating any of your own electricity. So the key thoughts here are you running it all year? Because it's obviously going to cost more in the colder months because your heater will be working harder to get the water up to temperature. But if you're going to be using it across the year, that's something to bear in mind. If you're only going to use it in the summer, it'll be costing you less. There are other factors you need to think about. The water temperature, we never advise more than 40 degrees centigrade, but you might want to run it lower than that, especially in the summer. You might want to run the temperature slightly cooler to get in and have a cooler dip. That'll be your choice. So see, there's those factors. A really good quality cover will help not only safety and protection, but it will also help with insulation. So you'll keep the heat in the hot tub when it's not in use. So all of those factors, and there are others, but in that case, just a simple thought, a hot tub like this one, rigid spa, is going to be very, very well insulated. Modern hot tubs are really excellent at being energy efficient. Some of the entry-level spas, obviously you're losing a little bit of that insulation. So on the basis that if you've got a good quality product and you look after it properly, just as a rule of thumb, if this were using 6 kilowatts of energy per hour for the jets, the pumps, the heaters, everything else, and if you're using it for up to an hour a day, you'd be using 6 kilowatts. If your 6 kilowatts were costing, let's just say as an example, 40 pence a kilowatt, then 6 times 40 pence is £2.40. So that's just an example of what it might cost for a hot tub, which is exactly the same or even less than the price of, say, a takeaway tea or coffee. So just think about that in terms of what it actually costs. And then final point, obviously swim spas, exercise spas, they will be a little bit more expensive, obviously, because they use more kilowatts per hour to heat. They've got more energy usage, they've got more pumps that have features like counter current units to swim in. So you can do the maths again, however many kilowatts times the hours of usage, you'll get a rough rule of thumb. But I hope that helps.